Have you ever been around someone whose presence alone drains your energy, manipulates your emotions, or leaves chaos in their wake? You can't quite put your finger on it, but something about them just feels off. They don't wear a villain's mask or show up with horns and a tail. On the surface, they appear charming, friendly, even helpful. But underneath that polished exterior, there's something darker, something unsettling. You start to notice the little things. How they twist words effortlessly, making you question your own reality. How they play the victim, no matter the situation, even when they're the one at fault. How they seem to enjoy watching others suffer, deriving a strange satisfaction from other people's pain. It's not just in your head. Unfortunately, evil doesn't just exist in myths or movies. It's real. It's around us every day, in the people we work with, befriend, or even trust the most. And the most unnerving part? It often operates in subtle, almost invisible ways. Evil people don't announce themselves. They don't come with warning labels. Instead, they manipulate, destroy, and exploit your kindness for their gain, all while wearing a smile. They thrive on confusion, chaos, and control, leaving you feeling drained, lost, and doubting your own sanity. But you don't have to be a victim. You don't need to feel trapped or powerless. The good news is that with a little awareness, you can spot the warning signs and protect yourself before it's too late. No, you don't have to be a detective or a mind reader. All you need is the ability to see beyond the mask. Ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca knew this long ago. They shared timeless wisdom on how to identify evil and guard yourself against its influence. Their teachings reveal that the most dangerous people aren't the ones who attack you openly. They're the ones who cloak their intentions behind charm, manipulation, and deceit. In this video, I'll uncover 10 evident signs that you're dealing with an evil person, signs you simply can't ignore. These aren't just generic red flags. They're behavioral patterns that expose the core of who these people truly are. Once you recognize them, you'll never be fooled by their facade again. Imagine having the power to see through their lies and manipulation. Imagine being able to safeguard your peace, protect your energy, and stand firm against their toxic influence. It's not just possible, it's necessary. These insights won't just open your eyes. They'll empower you to navigate this complex world with clarity and confidence. You'll learn how to reclaim control over your thoughts, actions, and decisions. And most importantly, you'll never fall victim to their twisted games again. So if you've ever doubted someone's intentions, if you've ever felt manipulated or drained by someone's presence, or if you simply want to protect yourself and those you love from toxic, evil influences, then keep watching. Because knowledge is power. And today, you're about to gain the power to see the unseen, to understand the hidden motives, and to protect yourself from those who wish to control you. Ready to learn how to spot the wolves in sheep's clothing? Let's dive in. Here are the 10 evident signs that reveal you're dealing with an evil person. 1. Constant manipulation. Seneca once said, "He who has many fears also has many things to manipulate." This isn't just a philosophical musing, it's a stark warning about the power of manipulation in the hands of malicious people. Manipulators don't thrive on integrity or honesty. They flourish by distorting reality, turning lies into their most effective weapon. I once knew someone who seemed like the perfect friend. He was charming, always complimenting others, and had a knack for making people feel valued. But behind that warm smile was a master manipulator. At first, he praised my work in front of everyone, making me feel recognized and appreciated. But soon after, he began quietly spinning false narratives, exaggerating my mistakes, and questioning my abilities behind my back. When I confronted him, he remained calm and acted concerned, saying he was merely trying to help me improve. It made me question myself: am I really not good enough? This is how manipulation works. It doesn't just disorient you, it erodes your confidence, making you dependent on their approval. Manipulators don't build relationships on trust. They exploit your vulnerabilities to gain control. They prey on your insecurities, convincing you that only they understand you, that only they can guide you. But here's the truth. A truly virtuous person will always lead you toward independence, not entangle you in dependency. If someone constantly urges you to follow their lead, disregarding your boundaries or autonomy, it's a clear sign you need to step back. Remember Epictetus's wisdom. No man is free who is not master of himself. By refusing to play their manipulation game, you reclaim control over your thoughts and decisions. Mental clarity and self-awareness are the antidotes to their toxic influence. Don't argue or try to prove yourself. Simply step away and hold on to your freedom. Because manipulators can only control you if you give them the power. Stay alert. Stay free. 2. A mask of charm. Epictetus once warned, appearances, no matter how dazzling, often hide the truth beneath. Some people use charm not to connect, but to control. They're masters at saying the right things, giving the perfect compliments, and making you feel special. But behind that magnetic smile lies a calculated motive. I once knew someone whose charm was almost hypnotic. He could light up a room with his charisma and always knew how to make people feel valued. But over time, I realized his kindness wasn't genuine, it was a tool. He used charm to manipulate, to gain influence, and to get what he wanted. When he no longer needed you, his warmth vanished, revealing cold indifference. This is the danger of manipulative charm. It disarms you, lowers your defenses, and makes you trust someone who doesn't deserve it. They use their charm to mask selfishness, deceit, and even cruelty. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." People who hide behind charm are often consumed with self-interest. Their actions betray their true character, no matter how sweet their words sound. So how do you see through the mask? Watch how they treat those who can't benefit them. Do they still act kindly, or does their charm fade away? Remember, genuine kindness shines without pretense. True character is revealed when no one is watching. Stay alert. Look beyond the smile. 3. Lies without conscience. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nothing should be done if it isn't right, and nothing should be said if it isn't true." But for truly malicious people, truth is merely an obstacle. They don't lie out of carelessness, they lie with purpose. Their deceit is calculated, strategic, and devoid of any guilt. I once trusted someone who seemed genuinely sincere. She always had a story ready, each one more dramatic than the last. She claimed to be a victim, misunderstood and mistreated by everyone around her. I believed her, defended her, and even took her side against others. But eventually, the inconsistencies became impossible to ignore. Her stories kept changing, details never added up, and her version of events always painted her as the hero or the victim, never the villain. When confronted, she didn't admit her lies. Instead, she twisted the narrative, making me question my own memory and judgment. That's the hallmark of a true manipulator. They lie so convincingly that you doubt your own sanity. These people don't feel remorse because they believe their own lies. Truth and integrity mean nothing to them. Their lies are a means to an end, whether it's gaining power, avoiding responsibility, or controlling others. But here's the truth. Lies are fragile. They require constant upkeep, new layers of deceit to cover the old ones. Eventually, they crumble under the weight of their own contradictions. Stay vigilant. Trust actions, not words. 4. Lack of empathy. Seneca once observed, humans are social creatures, not meant to live solely for themselves. Empathy is what connects us, allowing us to feel joy and pain alongside others. But for truly malicious people, empathy doesn't exist. They don't genuinely care about your happiness or suffering unless it serves their own agenda. I once opened up to someone I thought was a friend. I shared my struggles, hoping for support and understanding. She listened attentively, nodding at all the right moments. But then, she turned the conversation back to herself, dismissing my pain as trivial compared to her own. At first, I thought she was just self-absorbed. But then I noticed a pattern. Every time I was vulnerable, she exploited it to elevate herself. She used my pain as ammunition, spreading my personal struggles to others as gossip, making me look weak while she played the strong, superior role. This is how people without empathy operate. They see others as tools to be used, pawns in their self-serving games. They lack genuine emotional connection because they simply don't care. Stoic philosophy teaches that empathy is the foundation of humanity. Without it, a person becomes hollow, incapable of forming real relationships. So how can you spot them? Watch how they react to other people's pain. Do they show genuine concern, or do they remain cold, indifferent, even amused? Remember, true empathy isn't selective. It doesn't vanish when there's nothing to gain. Stay cautious. Guard your heart. 5. Enjoying others' pain. Seneca once wrote, "The greatest cruelty is to take pleasure in another's suffering." Yet some people do exactly that. They don't just lack empathy, they find joy in others' pain. Whether it's watching someone fail, seeing them hurt, or witnessing their dreams shatter, they feel a twisted sense of satisfaction. I once encountered someone who always seemed cheerful, but only when others were miserable. Whenever a colleague faced trouble, lost an opportunity, or made a mistake, his eyes would light up. He'd offer fake sympathy, but his smirk betrayed his true feelings. He'd say, "I'm so sorry that happened to you," but his tone was almost gleeful. He thrived on gossip, relishing every detail of others' misfortunes, and even exaggerating the stories to make them sound worse. At first, I thought it was just dark humor. But then I realized, he wasn't joking. He genuinely enjoyed watching others suffer. He fed off their pain, using it to feel superior, to boost his own ego. Their misery was his entertainment. This is called schadenfreude, the pleasure derived from others' misfortunes. But in its most extreme form, it reveals a deeply malicious heart. These people seek out pain because it validates their sense of power and control. How can you protect yourself? Pay attention to their reactions during others' struggles. Do they genuinely help, or do they watch with concealed delight? Do they offer support, or do they quietly enjoy the chaos? Remember, true compassion means sharing both joy and pain. If someone laughs at your tears, they're not a friend, they're a threat. Stay vigilant. Protect your peace. 6. Zero remorse. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it isn't right, don't do it. If it isn't true, don't say it." But for some people, right and wrong are meaningless concepts. They hurt others without a second thought, and when confronted, they feel no guilt, no shame, no remorse. I once knew someone who could lie, cheat, and manipulate without blinking an eye. He'd deceive people, break promises, and betray trust, all while maintaining a charming, innocent demeanor. I remember a time when he spread false rumors about a colleague, causing them to lose an important opportunity. When I asked him how he could do something so cruel, he just shrugged and said, "It's not my problem. They should have protected themselves." No apology, no regret, only cold indifference. This is the defining trait of people with zero remorse. They see others as tools, not human beings. Your feelings, your pain, your struggles, they don't matter to them. They justify their actions by blaming the victim, twisting the narrative to make themselves appear innocent. Stoic philosophy teaches that remorse is a sign of a virtuous heart. Without it, a person becomes hollow, incapable of empathy, compassion, or genuine connection. So how do you spot them? Watch how they react when they've hurt someone. Do they apologize sincerely, or do they deflect blame? Do they learn from their mistakes, or do they repeat the same harmful behaviors without hesitation? Remember, a lack of remorse isn't just a red flag, it's a warning siren. If someone can hurt you and feel nothing, they're not just toxic, they're dangerous. Stay aware. Guard your heart. 7. Twisting facts and gaslighting. Epictetus once advised, "We suffer not from events, but from our judgments about them." But what happens when someone manipulates your judgments by twisting facts and distorting your reality? This is the essence of gaslighting, one of the most insidious forms of psychological manipulation. I once trusted someone who was a master at twisting the truth. Whenever I confronted him about his broken promises or lies, he'd flip the narrative. He'd say, "You're too sensitive," or "You're remembering it wrong." One time, I caught him lying about a major decision that affected our team. When I called him out, he looked me straight in the eyes and said, "I never said that. You're imagining things." I began to question my own memory, my own sanity. Was I overreacting? Was I really that forgetful? This is how gaslighting works. It makes you doubt your own perceptions, eroding your confidence and mental stability. You start to rely on their version of events, losing trust in your own mind. Marcus Aurelius warned about those who twist reality to serve their selfish interests. These manipulators create confusion to gain control, making you feel dependent on them for clarity. How do you protect yourself? Document conversations and events. Trust your instincts. And most importantly, don't engage in their games. Remember, facts don't change, but manipulators do. If someone constantly denies your reality, they're not just lying, they're trying to control you. Stay grounded. Trust yourself. 8. Isolating you from others. Seneca once said, "We are born for community, for companionship. But some people seek to sever those connections, isolating you from friends, family, and support systems." Why? Because isolation makes you vulnerable, easier to control, and dependent solely on them. I once watched a friend get pulled into a toxic relationship. At first, her partner seemed perfect, attentive, loving, always wanting to spend time together. But soon, his affection turned possessive. He began criticizing her friends, saying they were bad influences. He convinced her that her family didn't truly care about her. Gradually, she stopped reaching out to loved ones, distancing herself from the people who genuinely cared. Her social circle grew smaller and smaller until he was the only person she had left. This is not love or friendship, it's manipulation. By isolating you, they gain total control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions. They make you feel that no one else understands you, that only they truly care. But in reality, they're cutting off your escape routes, ensuring you're trapped in their web of influence. Marcus Aurelius believed that true companionship strengthens you, not weakens you. Anyone who isolates you is not protecting you, they're imprisoning you. How can you break free? Recognize the manipulation for what it is. Reach out to trusted friends and family, even if it feels uncomfortable. Rebuild your support network, piece by piece. Remember, those who truly care will encourage your connections, not sever them. If someone isolates you, they don't love you, they control you. Stay connected. Protect your freedom. 9. Control freak. Epictetus once taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. But to some people, control is everything. They don't just like things their way, they demand it. They control how you think, how you feel, and even how you live your life. I once knew someone who seemed incredibly caring at first. She always wanted to help, to offer advice, to guide me. But soon, her guidance turned into control. She dictated who I should be friends with, how I should spend my time, and even what career choices were best for me. If I disagreed, she'd guilt-trip me, saying, "I'm only trying to help you." It felt like I was losing my autonomy, my freedom to make my own choices. This is the behavior of a control freak. They disguise their control as caring or protectiveness, but in reality, they want power over your life. They manipulate your choices, decisions, and actions to align with their desires. Your independence is a threat to their authority, so they crush it under the guise of helping you. Marcus Aurelius believed that true friendship nurtures freedom, not oppression. Anyone who tries to control you is not guiding you, they're imprisoning you. How do you break free? Set firm boundaries. Make your own decisions, even if they disapprove. Reclaim your autonomy without guilt or explanation. Remember, guidance empowers, but control enslaves. If someone demands obedience, they're not a friend, they're a dictator. Stay independent. Guard your freedom. 10. Fake victimhood. Marcus Aurelius once observed, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. But some people never overcome obstacles, they use them as weapons. They play the victim, not because they're truly hurt, but because it manipulates others into giving them sympathy, attention, and power. I once dealt with someone who was always the victim, no matter the situation. If she hurt someone's feelings, she'd say, "I didn't mean to. Why is everyone always against me?" If she failed at something, she'd blame others, claiming no one supported her. Even when she betrayed my trust, she turned it around, accusing me of misunderstanding her intentions and making herself the injured party. Her tears were real, but her pain was fake, a calculated tactic to avoid responsibility and manipulate others into defending her. This is the weapon of fake victimhood. By appearing helpless, they avoid accountability and gain control over others' emotions. They make you feel guilty, obligated to comfort them, and even responsible for their happiness. Meanwhile, they continue their manipulations behind the shield of innocence. Stoic philosophy teaches that true strength comes from owning your actions and rising above hardship. But fake victims refuse accountability, choosing manipulation over growth. How do you protect yourself? Don't be fooled by crocodile tears. Hold them accountable, even if they play the victim. Refuse to be manipulated by guilt or emotional blackmail. Remember, true victims seek healing, not control. If someone constantly plays the victim, they're not innocent, they're cunning. Stay strong. See through the act. Conclusion. Evil doesn't always wear a mask. It often hides behind smiles, charm, and even tears. But now, you know the 10 evident signs. Constant manipulation, a mask of charm, lies without conscience, lack of empathy, enjoying others' pain, zero remorse, twisting facts, isolating you from others, controlling behavior, and fake victimhood. These aren't just red flags, they're warnings. Warnings that someone is trying to control you, manipulate you, and drain your energy. But awareness is power. By recognizing these signs, you protect your peace, your freedom, and your sanity. Don't be deceived by their facade. Trust your instincts, set firm boundaries, and walk away when needed. Your well-being is worth more than their manipulation. If you found this video insightful, like, share, and subscribe. Help others see the truth behind the mask. Stay strong. Stay free.